Thomas here from Modern Coin Center, and today I want to talk to you about famous coin collectors who collected world coins, or specifically Canadian coins and coins with provenance. So I want to start off with King Farouk of Egypt, which he didn't have a lot of Canadian coins, but he had a huge coin collection. He was king from 1936 to 1952. He collected coins, stamps, cars, and luxury goods. After he was thrown out of government, his collection went up for auction by Sotheby's. This is the catalog from 1954. It was a 11-day auction, and a lot of the coins were sold in groups. So you see, for example, US quarters here, and there is a lot of them in one lot, starting with, coins from 1796 to 1918. If you had money back then, it was a really good time to buy coins. A lot of stuff sold in this auction at a low price compared to what stuff was selling for a decade or 5 years before. I only have one coin to show you here from King Farouk collection, and it's actually a very common coin, 47 maple leaf, which we see on a regular basis, but this one's in really nice condition, and we know who bought this from King Farouk's sale. This coin belonged to Henry Norweb after. This is Henry's envelope that he kept the coin in, and you can tell from the back of it that he bought it in 1954 at the Farouk sale. I'm guessing that might be the lot number. So looking at this envelope, it says it was out of the Farouk sale 1954, and has a number of 2,360 on it. So let's just check that lot number quickly and see what it is. So lot 2,360 is Canadian coins, and there is a dime in there. It says there's one dime in there, so I'm guessing that is the dime. Next collector I want to talk to you about is John J. Pittman. My understanding is John grew up really poor. He didn't have a lot of money. Even when he started collecting, he didn't have a lot of money, and he was really picky with what he bought. That being said, he had a very good eye for coins. Here are some coins from his collection. So first we have a 1936 Canadian penny, MS65 red. A couple more coins from his collection. 43 Tomback 5-cent piece. Not rare, just pretty. Nice condition, there's a lot of luster on it. Then we have a 1936 5-cent piece, also really nice condition, lots of luster on it. 47 dime, has a little bit of toning on it, but also uncirculated condition, in an old ICCS holder. And we have a 1936 dime, PCGS holder, obviously in MS65. So John J. Pittman and Henry Norweb flew down for the Farouk sale in 1954. They also flew down with a few other collectors and dealers that they previously purchased coins from, or regularly purchased coins from. Before the sale, they did talk to the dealers about the dealers not bidding against the items that they wanted, and they also told the dealers that if they do bid against them, that they would stop buying coins from them. So they were able to pick up some coins from the 1954 sale for a decent price because of that, I'm guessing. I know John J. Pittman remortgaged his house so he could buy coins at the Farouk sale, because there's so much good coins being sold there in bulk lots. John J. Pittman's coins were sold in 1997, 98, 99. He had a lot of coins after collecting for around 50 years. He, through all his life, I guess he spent around $100,000 building up his coin collection, and it sold for about $30 million in the 90s, which was a lot of money back then, and it's still a lot of money. I'm just going to go back and show you two of the coins we looked at earlier. So common coins, the 1943 Tomback and the 1936 5-cent piece. These were lot 2585 in the catalog here. Also sold in bulk, so there's, I guess, 22 nickels sold in that lot. A lot of these coins that did sell in this collection were later certified by a company called SEGS. They did number which lot number the coins came from, and that it was 14 of 23, coin 14 of 23 from that lot, and 7 of 23. I'm not sure why it doesn't really add up, but in the catalog it says there's 22 pieces in that lot. Maybe there was 23 actual pieces in that. So here are 3 catalogs from the John J. Pittman collection. The Canadian coins were in the 3rd catalog. One of the more famous coins that was sold from his collection is the 1936 dot penny, which there's only 3 known examples. So the next collector I want to talk to you about is Henry Norweb, which you already heard the name a couple times today. The only coin I have from his collection was the one that the 47 dime that he bought from the Farouk sale. His family collected coins. His mom collected coins. His dad collected coins. His mom, he was born in 1918, and supposedly his mom put him to work cataloging coins when he was like 12 years old in like 1930 or 31. He was attributing like varieties of pennies, Connecticut coppers, and other coins. His collection was sold about a year after he passed away by Bowers and Marino. Here's a catalog. This whole catalog is Canadian coins. So some better coins that he owned were, for example, the 1921 50-cent piece, which is obviously the hardest 50-cent coin to get in the Canadian 50-cent series. And this one was a gem, so it was like new. So he also owned the 1862 trial strikes of British Columbia $10 coin in silver, $20 gold coin in silver, and the $20 coin in gold. These coins are extremely rare, or trial strikes are extremely rare, with only, you know, a few pieces of each known. So a few other collectors I want to mention are Belzberg, Blay, and Victoria. Here's a coin from the Victoria collection. It's a 1938 specimen penny, and after Victoria, Blay owned it. Here's a 1921 specimen penny. I think there's 5 or 6 of these known from the Blay collection. Out of all these collectors, I think the Blay collection is actually the most recent one that sold a few years back. Blay specialized in collecting high quality pennies. He collected American pennies and Canadian pennies. So his collection was sold in 2022. I don't have a catalog for his collection, although it was sold by Great Collections online. Here's a catalog for the Victoria collection. She also owned a 1921 half, but hers was the finest one known at the time. The next catalog we have here is the Belzberg catalog. This collection was sold in 2003 in New York. Sid and Alicia Belzberg collected Canadian coins. I know Alicia collected Polish coins. I actually owned a few Polish coins from her collection. That was sold in 2008. The most famous coin they had was probably the 1911 dollar. This example was the only one that was in private hands. I think Cook bought it after it was sold here, which then was probably sold about 5 years ago, and then it ended up in the Bank of Canada Museum. I think last time that coin sold, it sold for around $800,000 Canadian. So last sale I want to talk about is the Frontenac sale. This came out of the Frontenac sale in 1991. There's 7 or 8 of these 50-cent pieces known. I think the official number of how many sets were issued was 3 sets, so they must have made a few extra 50-cent pieces. This coin is really nice, super lustrous, blast white, some cameo on it. Here's a Frontenac catalog. Let's just skip over to the Canadian coins. Let's see what they had. You know, rare coins like the 1921 5-cent piece in mint state 66, which is at the time I guess was the finest known. It's probably still the finest known. Also, once again, the 1921 50-cent piece, which is obviously the hardest 50-cent piece to get, and at the time this was labeled as the finest known 50-cent piece. Another thing that's really neat about this 50-cent piece and the quarter that we looked at earlier, it shows provenance from more than one person. So it says Frontenac on there, and then Harvey Richer. This coin was also owned by the Cook collection, which we obviously don't really want to put on holders. This quarter here was owned by 3 famous collectors, Fortune, Pittman, and Belzberg. I feel like the more history you know about a coin and where it has been or who owned it, the more valuable it is, or more interesting it is. So these coins usually sell a lot faster or sell for a little bit of a premium. Don't forget to keep track of who you're purchasing your coins from, especially if it comes from a famous collector. It will definitely make it easier to sell your coins in the future.